Hello and welcome to the College Corridor Planning process. This session is the second in our series focusing on the public realm in the College Corridor area. The public realm is the publicly owned places and spaces that belong to and are accessible by everyone. In our first session, we looked at open space, focusing on green space, parks, and recreation uses in the area. This and the next session will focus on streetscaping, specifically the sidewalks, pathways, and boulevards that are used to move through the College Corridor area. We have split the streetscaping discussion into two parts. This session is about walking and rolling connections, and the next session will focus more on the character and comfort of the streetscape. The comfort and character session will focus more on the design and details of the public realm. This discussion will focus on the interconnected network and basic characteristics of the places that you can use to walk, bike, or roll in the College Corridor area. To begin the discussion, I will go through a quick review of the current public realm in the area. College Drive is a busy arterial that doesn't allow for on-street parking. Large portions of it do not currently have any dedicated walking or cycling paths or have buildings that face onto the street. In areas where there are sidewalks, there is generally a 1 to 2 meter boulevard between the sidewalk and the street, and there are many driveways that cross the sidewalk. Generally, the sidewalks are narrower than the city's new standard minimum width of 1.8 meters wide. Snow and ice buildup and ponding water often create challenges for pedestrians in this area. There are also many locations where mature trees are close to the sidewalks, providing shade and a sense of enclosure. Preston Avenue is also a busy arterial without on-street parking. The lack of street trees and adjacent buildings make it very open and sunny, but very exposed to the elements. The current space between the sidewalk and the street is mostly about 2 meters wide, and there are several electrical lines that run parallel to Preston that may impact adding plantings or street trees in this area. Walking and cycling are served by a multi-use pathway on the west side of the street. The streets that connect onto College are generally narrower and less busy, and most of them allow for on-street parking, impacting the streetscaping needs of these connections. There are some existing initiatives underway at the City of Saskatoon that will change some of the conditions on College and need to be considered in our discussion of the public realm. A significant planned addition to the College Corridor area is the proposed BRT system that will run down both Preston and College. The BRT system will become a major destination for people walking and rolling in the neighborhood, and the proposed BRT plans include adding additional multi-use pathways to College Drive. Another plan that relates to the public realm is the city's active transportation, or AT plan. The AT plan recommends adding all ages and abilities, or AAA cycling routes, to Saskatoon's major corridors where possible, as well as recommending other connections through the neighborhood within the study area. For background, a AAA bicycle network is meant for people aged 8 to 80 years old and is therefore comfortable for most cyclists regardless of ability and experience. Corridor planning is specifically looking at College and Preston for cycling facilities, but will also be coordinating with the city's active transportation program on the other proposed connections within the study area. Some types of cycling facilities that might be desirable in the College Corridor area are depicted here. There are already several multi-use pathways in the College Corridor area where cyclists and pedestrians share the path. Protected cycling facilities may be appropriate for areas with high cycling and walking demand, and an example of a cycle track protected facility is shown below. Bikeways or bike boulevards are most suitable for roads classified as local or internal to the neighborhood. Bicycle boulevards have signs, pavement markings, traffic calming measures, and specialized crossing treatments that calm traffic and discourage through trips by motor vehicles. While not considered a AAA bike facility, back lanes may be considered as a location for additional cycling connections where appropriate. These plans, as well as the draft land use changes proposed by Corridor Planning, all may impact what you want to see in the public realm in this area. In order to help you visualize the network in its context, we have created some maps of the planned network in the corridor area. This map will hopefully help you get a sense of what is already planned. Some important things to note. The darkest purple areas are where the most new density will be allowed to be developed, and where a lot of the destinations for pedestrians and cyclists along this corridor will be. The yellow arrows show where there are crosswalks for getting across the main corridors. The white circles show where BRT stations have been planned, and the dotted pink lines show where new multi-use pathways are part of the BRT project. As you can see here, the BRT project is proposing adding multi-use pathways on both sides of College between Cumberland and Preston. The area shown here is part of the University of Saskatchewan campus and their College Quarter Plan, and any changes in these areas will need to be coordinated with their processes. The portion of Preston north of College Drive has 2 planned BRT stops and no significant areas where there will be major changes to the land use. So those are the changes that are already proposed, but what needs and opportunities do you see in the College Corridor area? The Corridor Transformation Plan, which has been reviewed and approved by Council, sets goals for improved connections into the neighborhood and for making streets more accessible and welcoming to all users. There are some best practices for making sidewalks more welcoming and functional for people. Separating sidewalks for moving traffic, reducing the number of driveways that cross them, adding plants and street trees, and widening sidewalks can all make walking or rolling more inviting. We are asking you to tell us what are the most important things that you would like to see in the public realm in this area. It may also be helpful to tell us if there are some other streets that you like and think could be good models of how you would like the College Corridor area to feel. We're also looking for input on what you would like to see for cycling facilities. Are there any cycling and walking routes in Saskatoon or other cities that you think could inform the design of College Drive and Preston?